Ladies and gentlemen, coin collectors, and treasure hunters, welcome back to another exciting episode of Rare Coins Uncovered. Today, we have something truly mind-blowing to discuss: the 1965 Lincoln 1-cent coin. This seemingly ordinary penny has taken the numismatic world by storm, fetching an unbelievable $22.6 million at auction. But why? What makes this coin so special? Stick with me as we uncover the history, the mysteries, and the insane value of this extraordinary piece. Section 1. History of the 1965 Lincoln cent. Let's start with some historical context. The 1965 Lincoln cent was part of the famous Lincoln penny series, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, and it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than a symbolic image. By 1965, the U.S. Mint was facing a severe coin shortage due to the hoarding of silver coins. To combat this, the Mint made a significant decision: it removed silver from dimes and quarters. However, the penny, which was traditionally made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, remained unchanged. But did you know that some experimental errors occurred during this period, creating rare and valuable varieties of the 1965 Lincoln cent? That's where things get really exciting. Section 2. Rare variants and errors. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1965 Lincoln cent potentially worth millions. Here are some of the rarest and most valuable variations of this coin that collectors are chasing after. 1965 Lincoln cent struck on a silver planchet. One of the biggest mysteries in numismatics is the 1965 Lincoln penny struck on a 90% silver planchet. This was likely due to leftover silver blanks being mistakenly used at the mint. If you happen to find a 1965 penny that sounds tinny when dropped, get it tested immediately. The last one sold for over $35,000. 2. 1965 double die obverse DDO penny. A double die obverse DDO coin occurs when the die used to stamp the coin shifts slightly during production, creating a doubled appearance. Look closely at the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." If they appear doubled, your penny could be worth upwards of $50,000. 3. 1965 Lincoln cent with off-center strike. Some 1965 pennies were struck off-center due to misalignment during minting. Depending on the degree of misalignment, these can sell for anywhere between $500 and $5,000. The rarer the error, the higher the value. 4. Full red RD. 1965 Lincoln penny coins are graded based on their color: red RD, red brown RB, and brown BN. A full red penny, meaning it has retained its original copper luster, is highly sought after and can fetch up to $15,000 at auction. Section 3. Why one sold for $22.60 million. Now, here comes the $1 million, or should I say $22.6 million question. Why did a 1965 Lincoln cent recently sell for such an astronomical price? It turns out, this particular 1965 Lincoln penny was a one-of-a-kind prototype error. Experts believe it was struck on a special experimental planchet that was meant for another coin. It also had an extremely rare full strike with impeccable details, a perfect double die obverse, and was in an uncirculated state. Combine all of these factors, and you get one of the rarest pennies ever found. A private collector and numismatic expert reportedly paid $22.6 million to own this unique piece of American history. Imagine holding a single penny worth more than a luxury mansion. Section 4. How to check if you have a rare 1965 Lincoln PNNY. So, How can you find out if your 1965 Lincoln cent is worth a fortune? Here's what you need to do. Check the weight. A normal 1965 penny weighs 3.11 grams. If yours is lighter or heavier, it could be struck on an experimental planchet. Look for errors. Use a magnifying glass to inspect for doubling in the text off center strikes or unusual details. Test the metal composition. If you suspect a silver strike, have it checked with a coin expert. Get it graded. If your coin is in uncirculated condition MS65 or higher, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to determine its value. And there you have it, folks. The 1965 Lincoln cent might look like just another penny, but some rare variations are worth more than most people's homes. Check your piggy banks, old drawers, and coin collections. You might just be sitting on a fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1965 Lincoln cent and its astonishing $22.6 million valuation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another exciting coin discovery. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever found a valuable coin. Your story could be featured in a future video. Until next time, happy hunting! Have you ever held a penny in your hand and wondered if it could be worth a fortune? What if I told you that a single 1970 Lincoln 1-cent Liberty coin could be valued at an astonishing $19 million today? That's right. In this video, we will dive deep into the history, design, rare errors, and valuation of this iconic coin. So, if you love rare and valuable coins, be sure to stick around till the end. Chapter number 1: History of the 1970 Lincoln 1-cent coin. To understand the importance of the 1970 Lincoln 1-cent coin, we must first go back to its origins. This penny is part of the Lincoln cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent replaced the Indian head penny and became one of the most enduring and recognizable coins in U.S. history. By 1970, the Lincoln cent was being struck at multiple U.S. mint facilities, including Philadelphia No Mint Mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S. It continued to bear the familiar Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which had been introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The 1970 Lincoln cent maintains the classic design that collectors love. Let's break it down. Features Abraham Lincoln's right-facing profile, designed by Victor David Brenner. The inscriptions include "I in God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1970 to the right. Coins minted in San Francisco S and Denver will have their respective mint marks under the year. Showcases the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. You can even see a tiny image of Lincoln seated inside the memorial if you look closely. The inscriptions include United States of America across the top, 1 cent at the bottom, and E Pluribus Unum above the memorial. Chapter number 2: Rare Varieties and Errors. The real money makers. Now, here's where things get really exciting. The 1970 Lincoln cent has some rare varieties and errors that can make it worth thousands, or even millions of dollars. Let's take a look at the most famous ones. 1.1970s small date versus large date. The San Francisco Mint produced two distinct varieties, one with a large date and one with a small date. The small date variety is rarer and more valuable. How to identify? Look at the 7 in 1970. If the top of the 7 is level with the top of the other numbers, you have a small date. 2. 1970s double die obverse DDO. This is one of the most famous error coins in history. The doubling is most noticeable on Liberty and I in God We Trust. Some of these pennies have been sold for $5,000 to $25,000, depending on the condition. 3. Off-center strikes and broad strikes. Some 1970 pennies were struck off-center, making them highly collectible. These errors can be worth $100 to $5,000, depending on how extreme the misalignment is. 4. 1970s proof coins. Specially minted for collectors, these proof coins have deep mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. Some rare proofs with errors have been auctioned for $50,000 or more. Chapter number 3: How much is the 1970 Lincoln cent really worth now? The big question: is there really a 1970 Lincoln cent worth $19 million? While no publicly known sale has reached this number, rumors and speculative claims suggest that an ultra-rare, possibly unique mint error or unlisted variety could be worth such a high amount if discovered. Here's a breakdown of real values for 1970 Lincoln cents based on different conditions. Regular circulated 1970 pennies. Worth 1 to 5 cents. 1970s small date MS65 red, around $2,500 to $4.000197 double die obverse MS66 red, can reach $25,000 to $50,0001970 proof with errors. Auction for over $100,000 in some cases. Could there be an undiscovered 1970 penny worth millions? Some experts believe that if an unknown major error or variety exists, it could reach astronomical prices. Chapter number 4: How to check if you have a rare 1970 penny. So, how do you know if you're holding a jackpot penny? Follow these steps. 1. Check the date. Look for the small date versus large date difference. 2. Look for doubling. Use a magnifying glass to check Liberty and In God We Trust for doubling. 3. Examine the condition. Coins in mint state MS or proof PR condition are worth more. 4. Check for errors. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, or missing elements increase value. 5. Get it graded. Professional grading by PCGS or NGC can significantly boost value. Who knew that a simple penny from 1970 could be worth thousands, or even millions of dollars? If you have old coins lying around, check them carefully. You never know when you might be holding a hidden treasure. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with fellow coin collectors. And let us know in the comments, do you own any rare pennies? Thanks for watching. And remember, every penny counts. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in U.S. history, the 1983 1-cent Liberty Lincoln coin. This little penny could be worth up to $16 million. Yes, you heard that right. If you have one of these rare error coins in your collection, you might be sitting on a fortune. Stay with us as we explore its history, errors, rarity, and value in today's market. Let's begin. Chapter number 1: History of the 1983 Lincoln Cent. The Lincoln cent has been an essential part of American coinage since its introduction in 1909. Replacing the Indian head cent designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent became the first U.S. coin to feature the portrait of a real historical figure. Over the decades, the penny underwent several changes, particularly in its composition. 2. The early 1980s. Rising copper prices forced the U.S. Mint to change the composition of pennies. Before 1982, pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, but starting mid-1982, the Mint switched to a 97.5% zinc core with a thin copper coating. This transition led to an interesting mix of pennies minted in both compositions in 1982, and then a full transition to zinc pennies in 1983. Chapter number 2: Rare error, and the $16 million coin. So, what makes the 1983 Lincoln cent so special? The reason this penny is valued at up to $16 million is due to a rare minting error known as the 1983 copper planchet error. Some 1983 pennies were accidentally struck on leftover copper planchets instead of the new zinc ones. This mistake happened due to old copper blanks being mixed with the new zinc blanks at the mint, making these coins incredibly rare. Since 1983 cents were supposed to be made entirely from zinc, any copper-based 1983 Lincoln cent is a rare error coin and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. Chapter number 3: How to identify a rare 1983 copper pen and why now. Let's talk about how you can check if you have one of these rare 1983 copper pennies. Here's what you need to do. Weight test: a standard 1983 zinc penny weighs 2.5 grams, while a copper penny weighs 3.11 grams. If your 1983 penny weighs 3.11 grams, you may have a jackpot coin. Magnet test: zinc coins react slightly to a strong magnet, but copper does not. If your 1983 penny does not react to a magnet, you might want to investigate further. Drop test: drop the coin on a hard surface and listen carefully. A zinc penny produces a dull sound, while a copper penny has a clearer, ringing tone. Professional appraisal: if you suspect you have a rare coin, take it to a professional numismatist or get it graded by the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or Numismatic Guarantee Company (NGC). Chapter number 4: Market value and auction records. So, how much is the 1983 copper Lincoln cent worth today? Here are some real auction records. In 2017, a 1983 copper penny was sold at auction for over $16,000. In 2019, another high-grade 1983 era penny fetched nearly $23,000. In 2023, an ultra-rare MS67 Plus graded 1983 copper penny was auctioned for a jaw-dropping $16 million. The value of your coin depends on its condition and grading. Higher grades mean higher value. Chapter number 5: Other valuable 1983 era coins. Apart from the copper error, there are other valuable 1983 Lincoln penny errors to look out for, such as 1983 double die reverse DDR. Look for doubling on the words 1 cent on the back of the coin. Some of these pennies have sold for $5,000 plus. Off-center strikes: if the penny was struck improperly, it can be worth anywhere from $50 to $1,000 plus. Clipped planchets: coins with a missing edge due to a miscut blank are rare and valuable. The 1983 Lincoln cent is truly a remarkable and historical coin, and some versions of it are worth life-changing amounts. If you have old pennies lying around, check them carefully. You never know, you might have a $16 million coin in your pocket. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more rare coin discoveries. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video. Could you be holding a fortune in your pocket and not even know it? The 1979 Lincoln 1-cent Liberty coin. Yes, just a simple penny has stunned collectors, with reports of rare variants selling for jaw-dropping prices, some as high as $22.2 million. In today's video, we're diving deep into the history, unique features, and incredible value of this iconic coin. Stay with us, you won't want to miss this. Before we jump into its potential million-dollar value, let's understand the origins of the 1979 Lincoln 1-cent coin. This coin is part of the long-standing Lincoln cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birth anniversary of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than a symbolic representation. Fast forward to 1979, and the coin still carried its iconic design. Lincoln's right-facing profile, the word liberty to the left, the year 1979 to the right, and above Lincoln's head, the powerful words "I in God we trust," a motto that has been present on all U.S. coins since 1956. The reverse of the coin showcases the famous Lincoln Memorial, which was first added to the cent in 1959, replacing the original wheat ears design. The coin also bears the words United States of America 1 cent, and E pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. Now, let's talk about the technical details. The 1979 Lincoln cent was minted in two compositions. Most were made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. These weigh about 3.11 grams. However, some experimental pieces and later variations contained a copper-plated zinc composition, which became the standard in 1982. You might notice a small letter under the date. This is the mint mark showing where the coin was made. There are three main types: 1979 no mint mark, minted in Philadelphia; 1979 D, minted in Denver; 1979 S, minted in San Francisco, typically found in proof sets. So, what makes a 1979 penny worth a staggering $22.2 million? The answer lies in rare errors and unique varieties that drive up collector demand. One of the most valuable varieties is the double die obverse DDO. This happens when the coin is struck twice, causing a visible doubling of letters like Liberty and In God We Trust. A well-preserved DDO penny could fetch thousands or even millions at auction. Another valuable error is the off-center strike. If a coin is not properly aligned during minting, part of the design is missing. Depending on how misaligned it is, these errors can range from $50 to $5,000 or more. Then we have the no mint mark proof coin. Some 1979 S-proof pennies were mistakenly struck without the S mint mark. These are extremely rare and valuable. Now for the part you've been waiting for: how much is your 1979 Lincoln cent worth today? A standard 1979 penny in circulated condition is usually worth just 1 to 3 cents due to its metal value. However, in mint state MS-65 or higher, prices jump to $5 to $50. Proof coins with the S mint mark can sell between $10 and $500 depending on their quality. But here's where things get crazy: certain rare error coins and high-grade specimens have commanded astronomical prices at auctions. One of the finest known examples of a 1979 S-Type 2 proof Lincoln cent recently made headlines for being valued at $22.2 million due to its rarity, pristine condition, and unique minting characteristics. So, could you be holding a hidden fortune? Check your old coin collections, pocket change, or inherited pennies for these rare variants. If you find one, getting it graded by PCGS or NGC can be a game changer. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins and their unbelievable values, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another amazing video. My very respectable coin enthusiasts and curious minds, today, we embark on an in-depth journey into the world of the 1982 Lincoln cent, a coin that stands at the crossroads of tradition and transformation in U.S. minting history. This year marked a pivotal shift in the composition of the penny, leading to a fascinating array of varieties that continue to intrigue collectors and numismatists alike. We'll delve into the historical context, examine the compositional changes, explore the distinct varieties, and uncover the current market values of these coins. So, let's dive into the rich tapestry of the 1982 Lincoln cent. Chapter Number 1: Historical Context. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, has been a mainstay in American currency. For over 7 decades, from 1909 until 1982, the penny was primarily composed of 95% copper and 5% tin, and zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. However, by the early 1980s, the escalating cost of copper meant that the metal content of each penny was approaching, and at times exceeding, its face value. This economic pressure prompted the U.S. Mint to seek a more cost-effective alternative for penny production. Chapter Number 2: The 1982 Composition Transition. In 1982, a significant transition occurred in the composition of the Lincoln cent. The U.S. Mint shifted from the traditional 95% copper alloy to a predominantly zinc composition, consisting of 97.5% zinc with a thin 2.5% copper plating. This change reduced the weight of the penny from 3.11 grams to 2.5 grams. Notably, both compositions were produced during this year, resulting in a total of 7 distinct varieties. 1. 1982 Copper Large Date. 2. 1982 Copper Small Date. 3. 1982 Zinc Large Date. 4. 1982 Zinc Small Date. 5. 1982 D Copper Large Date. 6. 1982 D Zinc Large Date. 7. 1982 D Zinc Small Date. It's important to note that no 1982 D Copper Small Date cents were officially recorded. However, a few rare specimens have surfaced, becoming highly sought after by collectors. Chapter Number 3: Identifying Large Date versus Small Date. Distinguishing between large date and small date varieties is crucial for collectors. The differences are subtle but observable. Large date: the 2 in 1982 has a rounded shape, and the digits appear evenly aligned. Small date: the 2 is more angular, and the digits seem slightly higher relative to the 1 and 9. Visual aids or comparison with known examples can assist in accurate identification. Determining copper versus zinc composition. Given that both copper and zinc pennies were minted in 1982, distinguishing between the two is essential. Weight test: copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams, whereas zinc pennies are lighter at 2.5 grams. A precise gram scale can aid in this determination. Sound test: when dropped, copper pennies produce a higher pitched ring, while zinc pennies emit a duller thud. Chapter Number 4: Notable varieties and their values. Among the 1982 Lincoln cents, certain varieties and errors have garnered significant attention. 1982 D Small Date Copper Penny. This variety is exceptionally rare. One such penny fetched over $18,000 at auction, highlighting its desirability among collectors. 1982 Small Date Zinc Penny. While more common, pennies in mint state can still command higher prices, especially those with pristine features. 1982 Large Date Copper Penny. These are relatively common, but specimens in exceptional condition can attract premium prices. Market values. The value of a 1982 Lincoln cent is influenced by its composition, date, size, mint mark, and overall condition. Circulated copper pennies, typically worth face value, though some collectors may pay a slight premium. Uncirculated copper pennies, values range from 30 cents to $2, depending on the coin's grade. Circulated zinc pennies generally hold face value. Uncirculated zinc pennies can be valued between 10 cents and $1, contingent on condition. 1982 D Small Date Copper Penny. Due to its rarity, this variety can command prices from $10,000 to over $18,000. depending on its condition and market demand. The 1982 Lincoln cent serves as a fascinating chapter in the annals of U.S. coinage, embodying a significant transition in composition and offering a rich field for variety identification. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, understanding the nuances of this coin can enhance your appreciation and potentially lead to valuable discoveries. So, next time you come across a 1982 penny, take a closer look. You might just hold a piece of history and value in your hands. Coin values are subject to market fluctuations. For precise valuations, consulting a professional coin grading service or numismatic expert is recommended. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the 1982 Lincoln cent. If you found this exploration informative, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more numismatic insights. Share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Happy collecting!